to the Young Indie Professionals of New England talk show series with the professionals, where they highlight highly accomplished individual success stories and have our viewers get inspired and motivated to excel in their own professional journeys. Today, we're so honored to have Mr. Tulan, who is a full-time accounting manager in the biotech sector and has a very successful side business, being the owner of Photography by Tulan, specializing in still and video photographer. Tulan, we're so excited to have you in our talk show today.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So, first of all, please share your professional success story and let our young professionals know how you got to where you are today.
Sure. So, yeah, I started out in U.S. By doing my college here. I finished my high school back home in India. Came here, did my management bachelor's, and I already had minors in accounting. Um, I started moving into more of an accounting field that was more of an interest rather than management after college. And, I kind of just started looking for a startup junior accountant roles and then, just moved on from there. In between, I owned a business. I owned a Taco Bell franchise
Oh, wow.
before I moved into, more senior corporate role, and that's how I got started. And I didn't have to go through a lot of interesting stories. It was, I just started from a job, got some experience, moved on, got another job, got some experience, moved on, and finally, I'm a manager here at Cambridge Biolabs right now,
Oh,
in
wow.
Cambridge, Massachusetts. Yep, they in business of building labs for startups and renting out benches. So all the companies that do not have the ability to build their own labs rent out spaces from us and use our marketplace to get their equipments and all the accessories needed for the labs.
Oh, wow. So what made you transition from managing a Taco Bell to now biotech industries?
So we owned a Taco Bell for about 2.5 years. We sold it in 2009. That was obviously, as you would understand, the downturn in the whole economy with the mortgage crisis that we had.
Yeah.
We weren't planning on selling it, but then we kind of had the buyer reach out to us asking if we were interested in selling it. They made a good offer, and we were like, okay, it's a time to move on, and we kind of moved on from there. And at that point in time, it wasn't a good idea for a lot of people who were, shutting doors and getting out of business to go back into a new business. So I kind of went and started, looking for work and jobs. And, luckily I got my first job in a pharma company, which was called Cutis Pharma in Woburn, Massachusetts, locally. And yeah, from then on, it's just, moving from one pharma biotech to another and doing some side businesses on the side as well.
Wow, no, that's amazing. I know healthcare is in a rise, especially in times like today when we had to deal with coronavirus and all the pandemics and all. So this is definitely a great industry to be in. So what inspired you to be in the biotech industry?
So nothing really inspired me. It was, luck by chance. I kind of got my job after we sold Taco Bell into a pharma company. And from there on, I was there for 5 years. So obviously, when I was looking for a new opportunity, it was either going to be a pharma or a biotech because of the 5 years that I spent previously doing accounting for a pharma company. So it just, snowballed into biotech after biotech. And I kind of liked the industry. It was one of those places, where you always going to need new medication, new vaccines.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
so there was never an issue where at some point in time that industry would die down or slow down, and I might not be able to find a good opportunity in the future. So I kept going, and last year I left my 3.5 year stint at Moderna Therapeutics, as everybody know, one of the biggest vaccine makers for COVID. I started there 6 months before COVID started, and then I spent about 3.5 years before, that opportunity transited in something much bigger, which is right now at Biolabs. So yeah, I mean, it was just luck by chance. I got hired in a pharma company. They just wanted a junior accountant to come in, and they knew this guy can do 2 + 2 = 4, and that's how it all started.
No, that's amazing. I know in times like today, like biotech companies are in a rise and we need them because that's how we were able to um, accelerate the process of creating a coronavirus vaccine through mRNA technology. So
Yeah, sure. And then, Boston is like one of those main hub for biotech,
exactly,
hospital, biological sciences, right? Um, there's so much opportunity. So you get once into one of this industry, you're gonna be, moving to a lot of different companies, a lot of different positions, without, making quite a significant effort compared to if you're in a very niche industry that doesn't have a lot of companies in the same city. It's a great place for people to be in, the healthcare sector and biotech sector.
exactly. I'm in healthcare myself, so I definitely know the need, especially in the Boston community, and we're known for our healthcare system. So this is such a great opportunity, and hopefully the young professionals will learn that healthcare is definitely a good industry to be in the Boston area.
Yep, definitely a place to be in.
Yeah, so how do you, what motivates you to achieve better things in your professional life?
Um, so this is not going to be any motivating answer, right? It's going to be very straightforward.
Yeah,
First, motivation success is money for everybody, right? You
true.
want to have a nice financial stability in your life. You want to do things that makes you happy. You want to take a trip. You want to buy, I don't know, 80-inch TV, a nice car.
Yes,
Um, yeah, but I mean, with that, you got to have some other motivation to get to that point, right? You need to have motivation to work hard. You need to motivate to be successful. You need to put yourself out there, right? And yeah, I mean, success motivates me the most. And for that, willing to run around, willing to do the hard work. I put in a lot of sacrifices in my younger days when I wasn't married, so I could have that financial stability when I do get married, and we could do things that maybe in the early years I wouldn't be able to do it. But yeah, and after achieving that, you just want to get more, right? You
true.
get $1, you want $5, you get $5, you want 10, 10 instead 20, 20 to 100.
You always want more
Yeah,
money.
I mean it's success that's motivates me and help me achieve what I wished for or dreamt for, and keeps me going.
That's such a wonderful thing. So as many might know, you are also passionate about photography and have a side business called Photography by Tulan. What was the story about that and what got you interested in photography?
Sure. So, what got me interested in photography was since I was, I want to say, a 5 or 6 year old kid when I was back in India. All my family was back here in US. So whenever they visited us, they always used to get us something. At one point in time, I don't know, I think you're too young to know, but there used to be this rectangle cameras that
Yeah,
used to have really film rolls. You push it at the bottom and you click. It was like so thin and so rectangular. It almost seems like a toy when you look at it right now.
yeah,
Somebody had gotten me that, and that was, I could say, my first camera. Not that I clicked any pictures with it, but it was something of a like a toy for me. My dad, my brother used to use it a lot, and then from then on, I always, somehow, I don't know, I always had a camera in my hand. That thing broke, and I think my dad got a new one for himself or my older brother. So then I used to use that one, and then slowly, steadily, when I started growing up, and I started know how to take pictures, not technically, but I know I push a button and it'll snap a picture, right?
yes.
And then when I came to US, you started this era of all the digital cameras. I bought my first digital camera in about 2005 when we went on a honeymoon. It was a small point and shoot Nikon camera. And then, since then, I've never looked back. And, I just been interested in doing, landscapes and taking portraits of, people and things like that. How I got into professional photography was I did a few shoots for a friend on a really small time events, where they didn't want to hire photographers. um, and that came out really good, and then friends of friends started asking, and then it became to a point where, well, if I'm going to spend so much time and effort shooting for this, I might as well start charging,
Yeah.
which also brought me into which also bring me into a contact of another avid photographer in the area who was a friend of a friend.
Mhm.
We started working together. He started teaching me more technical skills. He started giving me a couple of his contracts when he used to be busy, which kind of developed my skills, more so technical skills, I would say. And my photograph. keep it on improving and improving. And and then I started marketing heavily, and I started getting all this different clients who looked at my ads, who looked at my work. And now I'm at a point where, half or more than half of my shoots are all referrals from previous clients. So, it's not a lot of cold calling or any kind of ads or anything like that. So it's been going good. Trying to improve day by day, provide a great experience for anybody who needs me. And yeah, I mean, it's great. I meet all these new people, and some of them become, my friends, people who I never knew.
No, for sure.
I
Yeah.
just went there for a photo shoot, and it, they were so nice, and they were so friendly and easy to talk to. Now, they're in my contact list, and we just say hi, hello, and every couple of
No,
weeks, get on a call. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
it's amazing how your side business can actually make you meet new people and
Yeah.
can develop like future contacts, as you said. And it's great that you're doing something that you're following your passion towards. That's really important to have in times like today. Like you're finding what your niche is and what your profession is. Even though your profession is like something hard hitting like healthcare, you're able to do this on the side as fun, which is great for your mental health as well.
Yeah, and it's also something different, right? If it's something of a hobby that you like, that you're going out and doing, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
So you're having fun, you're clicking pictures, you're creating memories for a family, right? Their kids and their grandkids are gonna see these pictures, and they're gonna remember, um, I don't know, their dad's first birthday or their grandpa's 75th anniversary or whatever it is, right? So your work is gonna be appreciated by generations and not a few people. So that's a good thing. And I just wanted to shout out to that person, that my friend. I won't name it here, but he knows who it is. I mean, even him being a professional photographer, to teach me the technical skills he did, to help me out, to give me the contracts, to get me started. I don't think anybody would have done that before.
No, and it's amazing
Um,
to have such great mentors who are able to guide you to success. Many people don't do that. Many people like to not keep their secrets, but the fact that people are now sharing their secrets and helping other people become successful is such a great thing and a rewarding feeling.
it is, it is. He is a great. Even now, he's a great mentor. I mean, still share, our work together. If he can't make it, I'll help him out. If I can make it, he'll help me out.
For sure.
Great guy, great guy, not selfish at all. So you kind of want to look for mentors like that.
Yes, no, that's so important in times like today. So, what has been the most memorable moment as a photographer?
Um, there's been so many of them, right? So I do two kinds of photography, right? There's an event photography where I go for birthdays, baby showers, or any kind of like a stage show or concerts. But apart from that, I also do landscape photography. Most notably, I go out do astrophotography. I used to have a friend here who unfortunately just moved to California last year. We spent a lot of countless number of nights in the cold, shooting stars and Milky Ways and moons and things like that. And some of those nights are, one of those memorable shoots that I ever had. It's one of those clear skies. You go, the Milky Way is visible with your eyes. You can see the space station moving around or the satellite going around the Earth.
And
And those kind of experiences, you hardly ever get if you're just driving by at night. I mean,
yeah,
these are some of the things that you go in the darkest of places, bear the cold, stay there for hours and hours, and to encounter that just for a few minutes, it's something so memorable. Even non-photographers, if they see it once, they probably want to do it again and again.
yeah, no, when I was in elementary school, they actually hosted like a star night where we all came at like 8 o'clock in the night to go to their parking lot. And we
Hmm.
saw all those stars. Like they had like the crazy telescopes and all the huge scientific like materials just to see these
Right.
stars. And I used to be like, oh my God, I never paid attention to this. Like when I'm driving, like, or when I'm outside, I never pay attention to the small things. But the fact they're pinpointing it is such a memorable feeling. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know how stars looked like so close. So
Right. And then I mean, even with naked eyes, you barely see some of the stuff that the camera can actually capture. I mean, my friend, he's such an expert at all astrography. There are times he has captured like Jupiter and things like that when he's shooting Milky Way, right? So it's an amazing thing, and I recommend if anybody knows any of the photographers who do Milky Way, go with them, bear the cold, spend the night out. Trust me, it'll be an experience of a lifetime.
Yes, young and professionals in New England, if you ever find Milky Way, come to Tulan to talk about it.
Hey, feel free. I would love to do a free tour, take you guys out. Um, hopefully, I still remember how to do it. I haven't done it in a couple of years now, but yeah, and I want to start to get back, to it again at some point.
No, that's such
Um,
a cool
but
feeling.
I'm just so busy with all the events and the birthdays and baby showers and maternity shoots. It's just too crazy to spend more time at night.
Yes, we will find you a time that you can do that as well.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing you wish you knew when you started photography?
Um, I wish I knew how to market myself. I wish I knew how to sell myself to people, right? I used to be a very shy person when people used to call. I used to be scared. Would they hire me? Would they not hire me? What price should I give? What price should I not give?
Yeah,
A lot of things like that. But, one thing I found out is, you just got to ask what you're worth, what your time's worth. And if they take it, if they take it, if they don't, they don't. Most of them always come back to you because the reason they're contacting you is because they like your work,
true.
right? So when I started, I have lost, a lot of clients, a lot of contracts just because, I didn't sell myself properly, or maybe I didn't presented my work properly. Um, but yeah, I wish I knew how to market myself, how to get out there and talk to people about the business that I had, the work that I do. I never used to talk in my friends group, or friends of friends group that I did photography. I kind of think it was more like, oh, look at this guy, he's always talking about his own self marketing and self photography. But I mean, that's the only way you could get more business and put your name out there, right? So
Yeah.
don't be shy, put yourself out there. And I mean, that was one of the things that I wish I did that when I started.
No, yeah, it's so important in times like today to market yourself and it's called personal branding. You'd have to personally brand yourself all the time, which is so important in today's industry and today's corporate world, especially in personal world as well.
Mhm.
That is such an important skill to have, and I want to learn that as well too, and hopefully everyone can learn that as well.
And I
Um,
understand, a lot of people are shy about it, but once you do it 2 or 3 times, it becomes very normal, and then you'll just figure a way out on how to market without looking like,
yes,
you're marketing yourself, or you just, like they call the term, full of it. So it's yeah, you'll get there. Just try a couple of times, change a bit of words here, change the language a bit there, and
exactly,
in no time you'll be up there.
exactly. No, that's great to know. So what advice would you tell the young professionals who want to start a side business?
Um, be passionate about it, right? Don't do it if you just want to make extra money, but you hate the work, right? Side business are just extra work, but that extra work, you need to like it. You need to love it. You need to have fun doing it, whether it's photography, whether it's DJing, or whether you're doing event management or anything.
Mm,
It's something that you need to have fun, because you cannot be working and complaining all day long. You do your 8 hour, 10 hour
exactly.
job, then you go do this for 2, 3 hours. It's not fun. You'll get burned out really quick, and it will reflect on your work. I do a lot of shoots on weeknights as well. So, I'm working until like 5 p.m. I'll be out of the door at 5:30, and I'll drive another hour to Canton or places like that for a shoot on Friday night. But when I get there, I don't feel like I'm working. I'm there to party. If they're a great host, it's even more easier to
Yeah,
shoot. I'm loving it, just because I love photography. So yeah, I mean, do you want to get started? That's great. Just be passionate about it. Just make sure you have fun doing it.
that's true.
Otherwise, you won't be. And I mean, this is not the only side business I have. I do other side business as well. I'm into real estate, rental properties, and things like that. Same thing. I mean, when I started, I knew there would be some work in it. Um, the tenants would be calling me, this broke, that broke. I have that issue, that issue. Right? But it's one thing that you have to go and fix it. It's another thing that once you get them on the road up and running, then you're done, and you have this passive income, right? So i
Mhm.
never i never really dreaded the work. I never really dreaded the drive, going to the apartment and trying to fix things and things like that. But now, after the hard work, I'm just happy that I did, and I never got burnt out, right? So it's all
Yeah,
about passion. Be happy, don't give up. and just enjoy what you're doing.
And also now you're the president of IAMV, which is such an amazing thing as well too, to add to your feathers of side hustles as well.
Oh yeah, and trust me, IMV is a big um, milestone in my career where I met a lot of great people. Like, I joined IMV about 10, 12 years ago. Um, I didn't know a single person in IMV. I just went there seeing a flyer and talking to my friends saying, hey, there's a whole event. Why don't we just check it out? Not
Yeah.
like we're doing anything. And from there, we met the board member while we were just having some drinks. They came up and they're like, you guys seem to be new. We never seen you before. And we talked and they found out at that time, I was doing financial advising for TD Ameritrade. And they're like, we're looking for a young person as treasurer to come aboard our team. And I'm like, all right, sure, sign me up. I mean, at that time, what was I going to say? But boy, I'm glad I did. I've made so many great friends in this past 10, 12 years than I made in my 30 years of life before that.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
half of them are like family. I see them almost every weekend. And it's just, life has changed for the better. And then, like I told you, it was a nonprofit organization, didn't get paid for it. I don't have any kids, so they didn't get any benefit from it. But I just did because I like, okay, event management, I'll meet some new people, I'll make some new friends. What harm can it be?
Exactly. No,
And
that's
I
amazing.
started as treasurer, and now I'm the president. Still meeting new people, still making new friends. And yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. We're doing an event on April 8th coming up for Holy. So it should be fun. We're starting back after 3 years, so a
Yes,
lot of
no,
running around.
I remember the IAMV days. I used to perform like in their dance performances, and I remember how everyone used to be so excited for all that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and it's great, right? You. I mean, you one of the person who would understand it more better than the other because you performed in it. Now you're outgrown it. Where somebody else is taking your place. Other new kids are coming in. So like it's a circle. People come. It's a very family friendly
yeah,
organization,
and that's
and
amazing.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm glad you were a part of it. That's one of the places where I met your mom and dad as well.
Yes.
So I mean, there's no, you can see how many people that I met there. So yeah, I do that. I love it. I don't get tired of it, even though if it's a community service, it's a lot of running around. And yeah, that's another feather in the cap, I guess.
Yeah, no, I remember IMV used to be such a good community gathering, and I would meet a lot of more new people too. Like a few of my intimate friends that I've actually stayed in touch even till today are because of IMV. So I'm happy that what it is gaining for the community and it's giving a chance for other Indians to meet other Indians, which is great.
Yeah, great place to be.
Yes. So I have a little fun question for you.
Mhm.
If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Ah, man, that was a harder question. The only person that I really thought, and I don't know about the other two even as of now while I'm talking. First person that I would have dinner with right now would be my grandfather.
Oh,
I appreciated him very much. I miss him a lot. He, passed away before I graduated from college, and before I was supposed to see him a month later when I was going back home. But I mean, he had done so many things that I remember now that was a motivation. He had opened uh, girls' college and hostels free of charge for all the kids from different small villages. He's the one who started the business that we had back home in India and grew it to where it was when we left. Had a comfortable life. Um, so he was a great inspiration, very well known. So I just wished that he was here a little bit more years than he did, to see the kind of success that I had, my graduation from college and things like that. So yeah, I mean, my grandfather would be one of the person. I mean, I couldn't really think of the two other people. I mean, I guess Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, because he's always talking about money. I'm always talking about money and
yeah.
financial things. But yeah, I mean, that would be tough luck. But um, yeah, I mean, I like to sit down with dinner with more family and friends. I like to have joy, life experiences, talk about stories from the past on a dinner table, then talk about business and jobs and how was your work and things like that. So I mean, I would definitely say, sitting down with friends, any of my friend, one of my cousin who passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, we were really close. I would like to sit down with him, spend as much time as I can.
Oh, yeah,
My best friend who's still back home in India, I hardly get a chance to see him because I don't go that often. So all the time that I'm losing with him, even a couple hours if I get to sit down with dinner with him, I mean that would be more than merrier. So, the point is, family, friends, you don't have a lot of time with them,
that's true. You
So yeah,
always
I
want
mean,
to
you
spend
gotta you
time.
gotta find that time. You gotta spend that time. You never know what's gonna happen, especially with coronavirus. A lot of people saw,
Exactly.
how shorter the time can get cut. And yeah, I mean, I would rather prefer spending my time with, some of my family members, some friends, have some talk and go on from there.
Exactly. That's amazing. Yeah, no, it's so good, rewarding to be with friends and family, and time is short, so you want to spend time with the people that you care about the
Yeah.
most.
Especially, so many of the young Indian professionals, they left their families, they came here to study, they graduated, they're looking for a job, and they're spending so much time away from their parents.
Sure,
Knock on wood, my brother's here, my parents are here, my nephews are here, all in North Andover itself. So, I do take it for granted, and I don't see them as much as I should see them all the time. But all these young Indian professionals, I mean, yeah, I mean, spend some time. I know you're far away from your family, but try to connect with them.
sure.
Go back home as much as you can, and you never know what's going to happen next.
That's such an important feeling and such important advice to give these professionals. So what qualities do you think professionals should have to succeed and eventually become leaders?
Um, don't be afraid of anything. Put yourself out there, take some risk while you're young. You wouldn't be taking any major risk when you're in the 40s or 50s. When you have a family going on. This is a time. Get out there, take some risk. Don't be comfortable. If you think you can do something, but the current job is so good, it's paying the bills, and you just want to stay there. At some point you want to get out there and leave their job and then try something else, something new, right? Even if it's a different job, but maybe it's a job in a sector that you're not familiar with. But if you think you can do it, go ahead. It's it's something that I regret when I started. I was very comfortable, didn't take any risk when I was young, and I lost a lot of opportunities that way. So hard work always pays off. Risk always pays off. Sometimes you'll go through hard time. Sometimes there'll be a wall in front of you, but eventually you'll move forward.
That's so important
Yeah,
to
don't
have.
be afraid.
Yeah, no, people are scared to take risks, but you know what? If you take a risk, like for example, I was scared to start young Indian professionals in New England. I was like, oh my God, like what do I do? Like I want an organization that I can network with people. And then I was like, I can't find anything for Indian related. So I took the risk and I made one. And I'm so
Mhm.
happy I took that risk. So I think it's very important to make that risk and because you never know what it could turn out to be in the long run.
Sure. And I'll tell you, my first job that I mentioned, when I got into the pharma company, I was there about 5.5 years. Um, and then suddenly, we went through a merger and a venture capitalist, and they hired a new controller. Um, absolutely horrible boss. I worked with him for a year. I was so tired. Gave them a notice, left even before I found another job.
Oh,
It was a risk I took. I knew I had the experience that I'll find a job eventually. But it just, it was just something that I had to move on. I wasn't happy. I didn't at that time think, okay, this is a comfortable job. It's paying my bills. I left 2 weeks later, found a new, better paying job. And, 3 years later, I'm making more than double what I was making there when I left.
that's crazy.
So it was just, I was like talking to myself on the day when I was like, what am I doing? Like, am I so stupid to do that? But I'm glad I did. Otherwise, I would have still been there comfortable, getting that 3%, 4% raise every month. I mean, every year. So would it have been where I am right now?
Wow, that's crazy.
So,
No, that's
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
that
yeah.
you were
Don't,
able
don't
to.
be afraid, especially when you're single, when you're young. Time is your friend and you don't have a dependent. Take the risk you need to, because even if you fail, you can always go back to what you were doing.
True, yes, and I think it's really important advice to give. So I know you gave such great advice for the young Indian professionals, but is there any last words you would like to give to the young Indian professionals of the New England area?
Um, Not much. I mean, we are in the land of opportunity. Really, we are. There's always something for everybody. Whether it's a job, whether you want to do a side hustle, you just have to find out what it is. Find out what you like, what you love, and then you'll get there. Just like yourself. You're so young. You started this big, Indian professional group. So many members. You're doing this event now. It's something that you achieved at such a young age. Um, it's just same thing, right? Everybody just go out there and do it, and you might
Yeah.
be able to do it. Who knows, right? But yeah, I mean, I wish everybody best of luck. Everybody have great careers. I want everybody to succeed. And again, like I said, if you're in a biotech or pharma, nothing better than Boston and Massachusetts. So
Exactly. No, thank you so much for being part of this talk show. I learned so much about your past experience, and you've given me such great advice, and hopefully all the young professionals can learn from that. So thank you so much for being part of this show today. And we just want to let everyone know that Tulan is our official photographer for our April 12th event. So please keep a lookout for him and definitely meet him. He's a wonderful photographer. And yeah, so you can definitely reach out to him and you can have your corporate events or even your personal events be photographed by Tulan. So thank you
yeah,
so
looking forward to seeing everybody. If you want a picture click, grab me. I'll take a picture of you. I'll send it to you. And once again, thank you for having me. Congratulations on this awesome group
Thank
and the
you.
awesome event coming up. Can't wait.
Thank you, and we look forward for everyone to meet each other on our April 12th event. So thank you so much and hope you have a wonderful day today.
You too. Thank you so much. Yeah, have a great day.